The Boy in the Wall is a gruesome story of a man going on a rampage, killing many people and ruining lots of lives. Daniel LePlante committed his first crime when tormented the family of a girl he was stalking by secretly living inside their walls for several weeks. Then when he was 17 years old in 1987, he brutally murdered a pregnant woman and her 2 children in Townsend, Massachusetts. LePlante, a notorious local burglar, had carefully initiated a reign of psychological terror throughout Townsend and its surrounding neighborhoods. Then came the Gustafson murders of December 1, 1987, consigning LePlante to prison for the rest of his life. Daniel LePlante was born on May 15, 1970, in Townsend, Massachusetts, and he allegedly suffered traumatic sexual and psychological abuse during his childhood at the hands of his father and then as a teen at the hands of his psychiatrist. LePlante attended St. Bernard's High School in Fitchburg, where he was described by students and faculty as a loner and not particularly friendly. By the 1980s, a neighbor had grown concerned over LePlante's many solo excursions into the woods behind his home. According to the Boston Globe, "You'd see him walk out there by himself. That's the only place you would see him, the woods." Diagnosed with hyperactivity disorder by the psychiatrist who allegedly sexually abused him, LePlante became a neighborhood thief by 15. He broke into Townsend homes during the evenings, stole occupants' valuables, and then he graduated to mind games. LePlante began leaving things behind and moving things around in his neighbors' houses to scare them. In 1986, his mind games turned to pure terror when he became obsessed with 15-year-old Tina Bowen. They attended the same school, and LePlante had taken her on a date over the Easter break. When Bowen returned to school, some students told her that LePlante was facing rape charges, and according to her father, Frank Bowen, that was that. Over the course of several weeks in late fall 1986, Daniel LePlante gained entry to the Bowen home at 93 Lawrence Street, in Pepperell, near Townsend. From a small crawl space no wider than 6 inches, he initiated psychological torment on the family. After watching Tina and her sister try to contact their recently deceased mother on a Ouija board, LePlante began impersonating a ghost. TV channels were changed, items were rearranged, milk mysteriously consumed. He even emptied bottles of alcohol without drinking them and scrawled disturbing messages like "Marry me and I'm in your room. Come and find me," on the walls in mayonnaise and ketchup. A knife was found pinning a family photograph to the wall. Though Frank Bowen believed his daughters were messing with each other, he soon learned the truth was far worse. On December 8, 1986, the girls returned home to find someone had used their toilet. After a search by Frank Bowen, LePlante was discovered in a wardrobe, face painted, wearing a Native American-style jacket and ninja mask, and brandishing a hatchet. LePlante hustled them into a bedroom before disappearing somewhere in the house. Tina Bowen escaped through a window and contacted police, who found LePlante 2 days later in the cellar of the house, hiding in a triangular space in a corner, bounded on 2 sides by the concrete foundation and an inner wall. LePlante had clearly been living there for weeks. Following his arrest at the Bowen home, LePlante was held in a juvenile facility until October 1987, when his mother remortgaged her house ensuring his $10,000 bail. 2 months later, he committed his worst crime yet. While awaiting trial, LePlante moved home and continued his daytime burglary spree. On October 14, 1987, he stole 2.22 caliber firearms from a neighboring house. November 16, 1987, LePlante burglarized the home of the Gustafson family, which included pregnant nursery school teacher Priscilla Gustafson, her husband Andrew, and their 2 children, 5-year-old William and 7-year-old Abigail. But this wouldn't be the last time LePlante broke into their home. On December 1, 1987, LePlante walked through the woods separating his house from the Gustafsons armed with a .22 firearm. He later claimed he didn't expect Priscilla and her children to come home. According to retired Pepperell Lieutenant Thomas Lane, LePlante considered jumping out the window and escaping. Instead, he confronted Priscilla with the gun and led her and her son to the bedroom, putting William in the closet and tying Priscilla to the bed using makeshift ligatures and gagging her with one of his socks. LePlante shot her twice in the head. He then took William into the bathroom and drowned him. As he was leaving, he encountered Abigail Gustafson, who had returned home on the school bus. He lured Abigail into another bathroom where he drowned her as well. Then, LePlante simply returned home and attended his niece's birthday party that evening. Meanwhile, Andrew Gustafson had been calling his wife all afternoon. Returning to an eerily quiet house with no lights on, Gustafson feared the worst. He first found his wife dead, lying face down on the bedspread. Then, he fled the house and called police. He later reported that he refused to look for the children because, "I was afraid I would find them dead." With the scent of the shirt, dogs tracked through the woods to within 3 to 4 feet of LePlante's home. The evening after the Gustafson murders, LePlante was interrogated. Lacking enough evidence to arrest him there, police planned to return the following day, but LePlante fled and a massive manhunt ensued. After another burglary spree in Pepperell, LePlante was found hiding in a dumpster and arrested on the evening of December 3, 1987. LePlante went on trial for the Gustafson murders in October 1988, and a jury found him guilty of murder. He was convicted on 3 life sentences. He will be up for parole in 45 years.